Daisy Ray, it's time to wake up and do book club. I guess not. Hi guys. Daisy Ray is not going to get up and do her book club, I guess. But I'm here. I'm Renee. I'm the Children's Librarian at Salem Public Library in Salem, Ohio. And this is Reading with Ray. That's Ray that's refusing to wake up. Our virtual book club for kids in kindergarten to 3rd grade. And this is our last week of book club. So we are going to be finishing up book 4 of Ivy and Bean. Ivy and Bean Take Care of the Babysitter by Annie Barrows, illustrated by Sophie Blackhall, published by Chronicle Books. So thank you to all of them for allowing us to share the book. So I'm like the opposite, but the older kids book club, I'm trying to squeeze in the whole book and finish it by Friday. And this one, we don't have very much left. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, but I might finish out the week with some picture books, a little bit longer stuff. We are getting ready for summer reading program, and our theme this year is Imagine Your Story. So it's actually, Ivy and Bean has played very well into that, because it's a lot about imagining your own story and imagining what you want to happen. To me, that's a lot of fun. So maybe we'll do some picture books that involve imagining your own story, or just really cool stories. We're going to do a lot with fantasy and fairy tales this summer, so you get ready to see some dragons and mermaids and all that kind of stuff. And I will be sharing all that information for summer reading with you guys very soon, I hope. It's actually quiet now. It was very noisy when I was recording the other book club. It is very hot in my house though, so it's a little say anybody knows me very well, just say, see, I'm an Elsa. Cold never bothered me anyway. Bring on winter. I'm tired of summer already. It's not even really here. Okay, I've blabbered on long enough. Oh yeah, Griffin is actually here. Hi buddy. And he's awake. Hi Griff. You want to do book club? He doesn't really care. I think they're just wondering when I'm ever going to leave, because I never seem to leave anymore. Alright, so we left off on Friday. Ivy and Bean, let's see, their neighbor had a large mound of dirt in her yard, and they turned it into a volcano, and they had mud everywhere. And I'm gonna say that Sophie's parents probably weren't too happy to come home and discover that their mound of dirt had been melted away with the hose. But so, you know, Ivy and Bean, they're not there anymore, so hopefully they don't get trouble for it. And now Nancy is babysitting Bean, and Bean isn't allowed to go outside, so she's basically pretending she's trapped in her room, and Ivy is coming to rescue her. So we are on chapter, Where Are You, Miss Peppy Pants? Bean was a spy. Pressing her back against the wall, she moved down the hall without making a sound. It was harder to be a spy on the stairs because the handrail poked her in the back. Still, she was pretty quiet. When she got to the bottom of the stairs, she edged silently toward the living room and peeked around the door. But Nancy wasn't there. Maybe the kitchen? She slithered toward the door. Empty. Where was Nancy? Bean got a little bit of a funny feeling. What if Nancy was gone? Nancy? She said softly. There was no answer. Nancy? She said in a regular voice. Nothing. Nancy? I'm in here. Nancy was in the bathroom. Don't come in. Bean went down the hall and stood outside the bathroom door. What are you doing? She asked. Nothing. None of your business. Don't come in. Nancy's voice was tight. She didn't sound like a camp counselor anymore. Are you going to throw up? Bean asked sympathetically. She knew what that was like. No, go away. Nancy clicked the lock on the door. What happened to Miss Peppy Pants? Wondered Bean. What was Nancy doing in there? Quiet Quietly, Bean pressed her ear to the door. She could hear water running, but she could also hear other sounds. Click, click, rattle. Bean, is that you? Said Nancy from inside the bathroom. Bean didn't say anything. She was perfectly quiet. Click, swish, spray. The sound of a glass bottle being put down. All of a sudden, Bean knew this bathroom was where Bean's mom kept her makeup. Nancy was not supposed to mess around with her mother's makeup. Bean's mother had told Nancy about 1,000 times she was too young to wear makeup. Nancy always said that everyone wore it, and then Bean's mom said that if everyone put their head in the fire, that still wouldn't make it a good idea. And Nancy usually cried. They had this conversation a lot. Now, Nancy was in the bathroom putting on makeup. Some babysitter. She was supposed to be keeping Bean safe and good, and instead she was in the bathroom being bad herself. Bean was just about to point this out when she heard a squeaky meow on the back porch. Ivy had arrived. That was her signal. Meow. Really? Daisy Ray's kicking me. Since Nancy was locked in the bathroom, she probably couldn't hear Ivy come in, but they sneaked anyway. Ivy took off her shoes and they slid silently across the kitchen and through the hall. Without a word, they tiptoed upstairs and into Bean's room, closing the door behind them. Well, said Bean, did you get the rope? Sort of, said Ivy. She looked worried. It's not exactly rope. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a bundle of string. It was thick string, but it was definitely string. They both stared at it. It was all I could find, Ivy said. I guess I could try it, said Bean, but she knew she wouldn't. It was string. If she made a ladder out of it, it would snap in two, and she would plunge to the ground and break both her legs. Dang. Perfectly good idea down the drain. We could throw your mattress out the window and then try to land on it, Ivy suggested. We'd miss, Bean said gloomily. They were quiet for a minute. Where is Nancy anyway? Asked Ivy. She's in the bathroom, said Bean. She's putting on my mom's makeup. Bean flopped down on her bed and looked at the ceiling. She told me to go away. My babysitters aren't allowed to do that, said Ivy. They're supposed to play with me, even though I usually don't want them to. Oh, she's only doing it because my mom's not here, said Bean. My mom doesn't let her wear makeup. Gee, Nancy's pretty sneaky, said Ivy. Yeah, I bet she's been planning it for 1,000,000 years. The second my mom leaves, boom, she's in the bathroom rubbing eyeshadow all over her face. That's stupid. Eyeshadow's goony, said Ivy. Yeah, if I could do anything I wanted, it wouldn't be dumb old eyeshadow, said Bean. What would you do? Asked Ivy. Easy. I'd go in the attic. You have an attic? Asked Ivy. Yeah, but I've never been in it. My parents won't let me up there. They say it's not really an attic and there's nothing up there and it's too dangerous. There was a pause. Bean? What? Your parents aren't here. Bean sat up. She pictured the attic. Dark, unknown, secret. If they aren't here, they can't say no. And Nancy did tell you to go away, added Ivy. The attic is definitely away, said Bean. Ivy smiled. She practically ordered us to go there. Come on. And we'll do one more short chapter here. The door in the ceiling. There was no reason, Bean told herself, why Nancy should have a good day while she had a bad one. She had been waiting her whole entire life to see the attic. And besides, she whispered to Ivy as they tiptoed down the hall, if there's nothing up there, how could it be dangerous? Exactly, whispered Ivy. Where are the stairs? There aren't any stairs, said Bean. She opened the hall closet. You go this way. See? Ivy looked up the shelves of sheets and towels, to a square wooden door set in the closet ceiling. My mom says it's not an attic, Bean said. She calls it a crawl space. Crawl space, said Ivy. Sounds like something's crawling around up there, like a monster with slimy arms that drip down to the floor. That Ivy's got quite an imagination. Bean didn't like the sound of that. My mom says there's nothing up there. Well, of course she'd say that, Ivy said. Parents never want you to know anything. Oh, they're looking up at the ceiling. It's my house, Bean said. I should know what's in it. She looked up to the door in the ceiling. Maybe there's another kid up there. Oh, I hope not. Or some old dolls, said Ivy. Bean wiggled with excitement. There could be anything. Let's get going. She put her foot on the first shelf. It wasn't as sturdy as she expected. It bent in the middle. She gripped the shelf above, the one that held a lot of washcloths, and pulled herself up. It was harder to hang onto a shelf than a tree branch. Shelves were too smooth. She climbed one shelf higher. Hello, wrapping paper. She tried not to step on the fancy white tablecloth, but she did, just a little. Another shelf. Ugly green towels she had never seen before. Bean looked up. The wooden square was getting closer. She looked down. The floor was far away. Ivy waved. You're doing great. Aren't you coming? Asked Bean. Oh, sure. Ivy stepped onto the bottom shelf. Gosh, it bends. She took a deep breath, caught hold of the washcloth shelf, and pulled herself up. You guys have a lot of towels. Ugh, Bean grunted. She was concentrating. She climbed past a bowl of fake fruit and bonked her head on the ceiling. Ow! Holding onto the shelf as tight as she could, she looked up. The door to the attic wasn't really a door. It was a square of wood in a frame. It didn't have a handle or hinges or anything. Bean leaned out, trying not to look down, and pushed against the wood square with her hand. Nothing happened. What's going on up there? Said Ivy. I can't get it open, Bean puffed. Scooch over. Now Ivy was leaning out too. We'll push at the same time. 1, 2, they said together. 3! They bashed the wooden square as hard as they could, and the door leaped upward and thumped down somewhere in the darkness above them. From the open hole, black, lumpy dirt rained down on Bean and Ivy and all the towels and sheets in the closet. Ugh. Yeah, if nobody ever goes up there, I bet it's pretty gross. Ivy began to cough. Oh, what is this stuff? Ivy was trying to blink the dirt out of her eyes. Your parents probably put it there to stop us. Like they use poisonous snakes to guard treasure. Dirt won't stop us, Bean said. We like dirt. Nothing will stop us, said Ivy. Bean reached out and grabbed the edge of the opening. A pile of dirt fell on her face. She ignored it. With her feet, she pushed herself up until her top half was inside the attic. There was silence. Well, said Ivy, I think we're the first people who have ever been in here, said Bean. Really? What's it look like? Bean's voice echoed from above. Well, it's empty, and there are a lot of boards poking up sideways from the floor. It's not very tall. There are little window things on each side. It's kind of mysterious. It's what? Asked Ivy. There was a pause. It's our own private little house. Hang on, Ivy called. Here I come. And that's where we're going to stop for today because we got to save some for later. And we got enough for maybe 2 more days. Right, so we're rapidly reaching the end of our next Ivy and Bean book. My little reading buddy left. I don't know where she went, actually. Oh, she's probably on the steps behind me. She likes to lay back there. I still got Griffin. He's over here. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. As of right now, Monday afternoon, it is beautiful outside. So go outside and get some fresh air. Don't forget your sunblock and your masks so you can stay safe and stay healthy. And I hope I see everybody really soon. Thanks. Bye.